why it has become very popular is because people have creative processes that have made it very profitable. And that's what the headlines reveal. But it might not be for everyone. And that's what we're going to get into today. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Creatives Podcast. This is entry 032, and today's topic is something that I am super excited to talk about, and it is subscription design as a creative. And I know those words in themselves might just, terrify you. They might excite you, or maybe you're just thinking, "What the hell is that? A subscription design? How does that even work for a creative agency?" And we're about to dive into it. We're going to talk about the different types of subscription design, what it is, if you can implement it into your own creative business. Is it for freelancers? Is it for agencies? Is it lucrative, or is it just a simple, fast path to burnout? We're going to get into all of it because I've done a lot of research, as we do here on the Creative Journal, and I'm super excited to share my findings. I've done some case studies, some deep dives on agencies that I think are doing it successfully, some things that you maybe can pick apart and maybe add to your own business if you think that there's value there. So without further ado, we're going to dive right on into it. It's entry 032 of the show. Let's dive on it. So in case you guys are living under a rock, you haven't heard about some of the more popular creative industry trends, subscription design, and this could be all these. I make sure all the topics that I talk about on the show are applicable to any area of creativity. Personally, MMG Design, my agency, is a graphic and web design agency, so that's what we specialize in. But this can be done for illustration, and you can really push the boundaries on. You can do illustration, motion graphics, things like this. It's not specifically tailored to one creative outlet, so just a good little caveat there. So we're going to get into subscription design. First of all, what is it? I'm going to go to and explain it. It's become very popular lately as of, creative agencies like Design Joy, who have become very popular because they have made lucrative amounts of money scaling up their creative services through a subscription model like this. And basically what it is, and it varies between which business model you're going after, but the basic premise of what most subscription design services are is you onboard a client, they pay a monthly flat rate membership, and the client submits tasks to the creative designer, you, to go in and complete their designs for them, whether it's landing pages. Most of the most successful ones are full stack designs. So you're kind of meeting a business where they are in their evolution. They might need different creative assets, and they want one agency where they can just go submit a task and have it fulfilled to them like magic right away. Not right away, but there's usually a grace period because fulfilling tasks like magic is not possible, as you guys know, as I certainly know. So this is why it has become very popular, is because people have creative processes that have made it very profitable. And that's what the headlines reveal. But it might not be for everyone. And that's what we're going to get into today. So does it work? It depends. If you're a freelancer and it's something that you would want to implement into your business, you have to know what success looks like for you. And that's basically the TLDR of this episode, is that for a subscription service to work, it has to fit into what you want to do every day. If you're someone who's very task oriented, who can go in and likes to have a queue and has their activities planned out for them like that, and it requires less creative thinking as a business owner, that it's a great thing that you could add into your business model as a creative, because you know what to do and you're very task oriented. So it could be lucrative for you on that front. If you're someone who likes to do long projects and get lump sums of cash and make better, deeper relationships, depending on who you want to work with creatively, then, or if you're in an industry where small one-off tasks um, aren't really part of the design, so it probably won't be as lucrative for you. But it really rewards working fast, and that is the one thing that I have found is if you trust your ability to communicate and work fast and meet the needs of the client, meet them where they're at, whether it's they need social media posts, whether they need landing pages, whether they need any type of creative asset that they need. If you're willing to meet them where they are at and create something that they see value in, then it can absolutely be lucrative. And you see some of these agencies, Design Joy, some of the examples I have, Magic Design, Flow Out, Passionates, and Warm Development. Some of the companies I've been researching because they are very relevant to my industry in Webflow and web development and design, is that these companies have staffs and they're able to charge premium rates because they have people that they pay in-house to fulfill designs, and they have employees. So if you're a freelancer, you obviously this is not as scalable as a model as you can imagine. So if you're looking to add subscription design to your business as a freelancer, then you have to know that you're capped at what you can do in a day. And I want to get into the details of the pricing structure and the demands that you have to place on your time if you're going to make this successful for you. So, cat's out of the bag. I have a small version of a subscription service in my business, and the design is very simple. It's just people come in, we offer them a flat rate per month. Personally, for me, it's 10 hours per month of design tasks. We use a Trello board, and they submit tasks. There's a to-do, a backlog, a ready for review, and a completed section. You can imagine like sticky notes. I think it's called a Kanban board, the legal terminology for it. But that's what it looks like. And you get charged a minimum. You have a minimum commitment per month, usually 10 hours. So you can set your hourly rate if that's how you want to price it, depending on what your hourly rate is, or if you want to allocate more time towards this client, then you can set that. And I would always recommend setting a minimum level engagement. So yeah, so you're signed on, you're committed to whatever your 10 hourly rate is. And if you go above that, then you can start billing by the hour. So then you're not looped into this hellhole of turning around designs in 48 hours like you promised you would, and they're just abusing it basically. So one of the prerequisites for having a successful subscription design service is making sure that you are open, that you communicate, and you set boundaries. That is so important, whether it's in design, whether it's in any aspect of creative business, especially in a subscription service. You have got to set boundaries. Like if you're not open to communicating and telling the client that you have to set boundaries on your time like this, then it's not going to be a good situation. And even if they do pay you and you can make a ton of money from the service, if you're not enjoying the work that you're doing and you're not seeing a reach value for the person, then there's a lot of basis that you can lose in doing it. So I caution you to think about it ahead of time. I always recommend trying new things, but those are some of the rabbit holes and the traps and the pitfalls that you can find yourself getting into when you commit to something like this. And there's a lot of tangibles and structures that you can work into your own if you want to add a subscription design model to your business. You can offer a free trial. So you can offer, it was Kimp was the company that did that, and one of the case studies. They offer a 2-week free trial, but it comes with a caveat that you can only submit one request. I think some of the designs were watermarked, but it's going to be a good way to have people get familiarized with the CRM or the project management tool that you get them to use. It can also be a good way to just show them what you're capable of and prove yourself. Any opportunity that you can have to show people personalized work is always a positive, but there is that upfront risk that, they're not going to be long-term customers. So offering a free trial is something that you should take with a grain of salt. Why can it be beneficial to have subscription design? We've talked a lot about the prerequisites and the cautionary tales, but now I want to get into some of the positives because this thing wouldn't exist. I certainly wouldn't have implemented it into MMG if it wasn't for some of the positives that can come out of it. So let's talk about some of those. And on a positive note, one of the positives is that it operates on the principle that you can create recurring revenue from a service business, which is huge, especially when it's just for yourself. So, and freelance, especially in an agency that is very traditionally unstable, famously unstable, as I found out, you any type of recurring revenue, a solid foundation is huge. So if you can lock in a client and you enjoy working with them and it's a great situation and they see the value of what you do and they're signed on every month to subscribe, they're likely going to be your clients for a very long time. And I find that to be the case with people I've worked with. And it's just, you cannot take it for granted, first of all, but it's just a great situation because you become their person, you become their trusted point of truth. And it's much easier to maintain branding and keep everything on point when you're the one person that has, maybe you created their logo, but you've been with them from the start and you know what they want to see. Communication is easier and you're just their person. And I can tell you 100% from the clients I have that is a great feeling, it's a great experience. And it's also just validation, just as a creative, because you want to feel recognized for what you do, no matter what field you're in. That's where the reward comes from. You want to get positive feedback and validation. And when you can be that for a business, for a company, when they're paying you every month to take care of their creative, I can tell you firsthand, it's an awesome experience because you can become appreciated. And it also has that benefit of the stable recurring revenue, which is so hard to find. And that's the concept of kind of productizing design, which is not easy to do, but this is a good first step to doing so. Another positive is that it usually reduces churn, like I kind of touched on. Once people are signed up, it's a lot, the friction of kind of getting off that horse and doing something else. The pain of stopping becomes greater than the pain of continuing. It's basically the law of inertia. So that's another benefit. And one of the biggest ones is just to increase, customer lifetime value, LTV, if you're getting business savvy. This is big because it, instead of having to get a client to commit to a four-figure project straight from signing, you get to build a relationship with them. You get to, they're paying you over time, but over time you'll find that unless you have a structure like this in place, you're not going to be seeing the money from them. The relationship with that client, you're not going to be seeing it translate to the money that you want it to, if it's not in a one-off project. So increasing customer lifetime value is a big positive in this business. And it also builds stronger customer relationships. And if you can do this right, I'm telling you, it can be very lucrative. So I want to sum up by getting into a few of these businesses, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, maybe diving a little bit to their website, but also the biggest thing, the kind of the TLDR for this whole episode is I want you guys to analyze your own business and know what's important for you. What does success look like for you? If you're a very task-oriented person, it can look like doing this. You know what your tasks are, you know what's ahead of you, and it can be easy to just check off boxes and know that you're making progress because you're seeing the tangible progress and what that client has set out for you. For someone who needs a cue, you need that stability to feel like, okay, I'm on the right track because I'm doing the task that I'm directly being asked to do. That can be a great feeling for some people, but odds are, and I would guess this, if you are an entrepreneur and you're starting your own business and you're building a creative business, even if you're just still freelancing, then that's probably not your preferred method of work. You probably started doing this because that's one of the things you test in the first place. So you have to be wary of